Hey guys, I'm going to show you an incredible level of user tracking and how fast we can learn from user tracking so you understand that when we're doing projects now, we're able to make them perfect really fast and convertible really fast, and you're able to make the most money really fast if you use us for your projects. And I'm going to show you that in a minute with what I got on my screen. But before I do, I want to report on a different part of this process. So the lady who calls real estate leads that we get in reported, and this is literally less than 24 hours ago. Hey guys, here's an update from today's newest list. These are in order, starting with the most recent at the top and working down to October 12th at the bottom. 20 people called for the one project. 20 people called. 11 identified correctly. Much better than before. And what's that mean? When we first started Decrypt My Leads, the tracking, as we were learning what was going on, we had a hit rate of like 1 in 45 or something, 1 in 40. And then we were able to get it down to like 1 in 17, then 1 in 11, then 1 in 4, and now it's 1 in 2. And that has to do with all the stuff that we've been learning how to deal with, how to block bots, bad bots, how to block hits from outside the country. Guys who scoop up IP addresses that are routed back into the... So we have really tightened down on the exact requirements for identifying somebody, and we're having a hit rate of 1 in 2. How's that? That's nuts. So yeah, they don't mind at all. Calling on-off calls like that feels already professional, right? That's like, no, I'm not interested. Yes, I am. No, I'm not interested. Yes, I am kind of behavior. So that's great. That's perfectly fine. Okay, having said that, I'm going to show you something here. And let me explain it this way. What you are looking at is a recreation of somebody else landing on our site and scrolling down. And I don't know why the visuals don't show all the imagery quite right, like the YouTube video at the top. But don't worry about it. Oh, here's what I'm learning. So we scroll down, he kind of read a little bit, and then he's trying to click this affiliates link, and he has trouble doing it. I see that. So I'm going to go back and double check what's wrong with that link. See, I'm learning. I'm learning from that behavior. And also, he kept at it, so it looked like a link to him, but it was having trouble clicking. So I'm going to figure out if there's something I need to do about that. Now, he's seeing what's going on here, right? He's figuring it out. That's fine. He may or may not sign up. He may still be exploring. As a matter of fact, I think he is exploring. So check this out. Calculate your profits. Okay, he's curious. Before he puts the effort in, what's it going to be worth to him? Yes, my calculator. That's very big, very involved, and very hard to read because I have a tendency to do that, don't I? So here are all these things that he's looking at and starting to figure out. Then he realizes, okay, I can make changes, and he does, okay? What am I doing? I am not watching a screen recording. We know our page, and we're tracking his mouse motions and his mouse scrolls and his mouse clicks, okay? What's that doing for us? Letting us learn. So what I learned from there, my calculator's too involved. So first, the affiliate link was too hard to click on, and then he probably would have signed up, but he wanted to see the calculator first, calculate my profits, which he saw right away. That wasn't a problem. But when he went there, he was kind of lost. And by the way, he clicked on the wrong calculator. Calculate your profits. There's a different calculator for the affiliate section. And he reached up and hit the wrong link. And I actually just realized he did that. So what am I learning? Everything that's going right and wrong. Okay. In the meantime, don't worry about the strangeness of this recording. I went and checked it out myself. The videos are there and stuff, but I learned something from the videos training page. He's looking for something he's not seeing. Now, since he was just looking at the affiliate section, I'm going to assume he might have been looking for a video on that. Well, anyway, he's past the bit about the affiliates now, and he's looking at the claim disposition section. Here's the thing. I do not know who this is. So I don't know how much he understands about the claim disposition section, okay? So he's looking through it. He's choosing an industry and choosing a county, okay? Gutters and downspouts in Orange County, Florida, $10,300 project. Okay, he tries another one, $10,800 project. Okay, he may or may not be interested in it. He hits the link, Okay, so maybe he is, but what's he see here? Register as a position holder. And then what's he do? He leaves. So he understood what happened here, and now he's just curious what the other industries are. You know why? If he understands what's going on here, he's thinking about it, right? But you know what I'm understanding? I probably need to put some kind of video in here, right? That just kind of reviews what this is. Just something on this page next to the claim disposition, move it over, stick a video in there that just explains what this is, right? And how it works. I mean, I've got the link to the terms and stuff, but he's not clicking it. He's clicking this. Okay, now, auto repair. Oh, he's looking for a very specific county or what? Maybe. It might be his county. It might be a county he just thinks is a good idea, right? So now he sees what he sees, and he goes back home. So it's okay. It's just, I realize that he's got half of the information from here. He's doing some exploring, but he didn't really get clear on the affiliate section, and he didn't really get clear on the positions section, which is stuff I can help with. Right? So whether this guy owns a business or not, that's one thing. Here's the other part that's interesting. Because we're tracking, we also know this guy's IP address, and if I look it up, I'll probably see who he is. I'll know if he's a member of ours or a new guy. I'll be able to make sense of that, and I'll probably see where he's coming from. So I'll see whether it's an SMS that we sent out about a lead or what. And so I'll be able to follow his path. Now, why is all this important? I'm going to go ahead and pause it, right? Pause this and move on to the real point. The real point is this. When we do this stuff, it's not that we care about spying on him. I have no real interest in that. What I want to know is how well is my website working? What does tracking normally show? A guy visited a web page, maybe it would take 5 minutes to read, but maybe after he landed there, within like 2 minutes, he clicked some other link. And so we're thinking, okay, I guess he found what he was interested in and went there. And then after the second link, then where'd he go? Okay, we're not seeing anything. All right, did he go to a third page? Doesn't look like it. Did he fill in an email newsletter? I don't see one. Did he watch a video? I'm not seeing indication that I wouldn't be able to normally. You wouldn't normally see anything. All you'd see is a hit here and a hit there. But what can we do now? We can literally, in the early days of creating a project for anyone, watch how users act. Okay? I don't want to do this all day. I don't want to do this for 1,000 user hits, but I want to do it for like 5 or 10. I want to see if users are having the similar problems, see what those problems are, and make some changes and improve upon it so I can drive the sales up, right? By making things that were unclear clear, making things that the guy had trouble with easy, right? And the only way you do that is by tracking. So what's better than having a whole lot of recordings like this? Because what do you do then? What are we supposed to have? 100 monitors just monitoring everyone's hits and watching every recording of everyone? No, that's not the point. The point instead is what? We want to see the summary stats, and that would tell us how many people watched the video, how many people scrolled past the video, how many people clicked this link, how many people did not, when they clicked and landed there, what did they do? And so by tracking all their scroll downs through sections and tracking where they stopped, and by tracking what other pages they clicked on, what other links they clicked on, as well as who signed up to the newsletter and everything, we have that data in aggregate. And along with having it, here's the thing we do that's better than anything and everyone. It's not that we're hiring monitors to study people. We get the aggregate data, okay? And then we have the websites themselves follow rules to act on the data to improve the conversion rates. If guys are having trouble and they're scrolling down, they just leave before they get to a section, swap it for another section. We're probably telling the story out of order. So the websites check that out. If guys are scrolling past the video's not interesting, swap it for another video. The website does that. We have a backup list of videos here, and the website tries each one until it gets the conversion rate we want. Okay? Newsletter. If people aren't scrolling all the way to the newsletter and leaving, they don't even see it. So we need to move the newsletter up. The website does that. If people see it and scroll past it, we need to move it down. The website does that. And what that means is the website tracks user behavior and makes its own adjustments so the monitoring can handle itself. After that, so each website, page by page, will monitor itself. See, because every page is different. The newsletter can't be in the same place on every page. It's got to be here and here on different pages for different reasons. Sometimes people need to read this far. Sometimes they need to read further. And then they're interested. Depends on the topic, right? So every web page monitors its own activity, its own actions, and makes its own adjustments. Whoever heard of that? Did you ever hear, hey, build a WordPress site that monitors and updates itself to improve your ROI so you don't have to monitor it yourself? Never heard of that. Never heard Wix do that, or Joomla or Weebly or anybody. But we do. Next thing that's of extreme importance to that is this. Not only does each website do it, but it tracks its history so it never makes the same mistake twice, right? If it tried something and it didn't work, and then it tries something else next round of people, and that's working better but still not good enough, it never flips back to what it did before. It actually has a history, a running history. So it knows to keep updating itself by following a set of strategic steps up a ladder, not just willy-nilly random. So that's awesome. When people are scrolling this far efficiently, we're not going to change anything up here. We're going to keep working on what happens after the fact to keep getting them to scroll a little further, a little further, a little further. And if they're clicking on things along the way, that's awesome. They should. We don't count that against scroll downs. What's the other part? There's so many things to talk about. Oh yeah. So not only that, but we have the websites actually have like an AA meeting with each other. So like once every 2 weeks, we're going to probably do this. All the websites will share their stats with each other. It's like downloading a massive report, and then look for the best setup on it for each kind of page and each kind of template, okay, for the same industries. And then that way we can see which arrangements are working best and carry those across and push those back out to the sites. So all those sites can now cascade the changes that led to the best conversion rates so far. And then they continue their tracking experience to see what else they can learn. Okay? So we just have a person monitoring the process that monitors all the websites that monitor themselves. That's affordable and doable. How's that for cool? So yes, we can monitor. And if we have any questions about behaviors on a site, what do? This kind of thing that I just showed you. We watch some users. And usually what you do is you watch the users in the beginning and you see how to arrange things for them. And then once you have that done, you've got it set. So then what? Then we put the automation into play for the websites to self-govern and then to group meet and update. Okay? So how's that for crazy cool? All right. What I want to tell you is that you guys should get on the real estate leads for sure, because this is going down and it's getting nuts for Powerful. And all the stuff I'm showing you here, yep, we're going to watch users on the real estate websites. Not only that, if we want to push messages through to them, hi, can we help you find anything? Is there anything you're looking for kind of stuff, right? Do you want to download this 5 top things you need to know before choosing a real estate agent? Click here, and watch who closes the box, who interacts with the box. What's that mean? Everything about the website, we're going to be able to visually track. So something we've never been able to do before is monitor the websites ourselves upon production. And instead of using Spintax and using a big pop-up to catch attention in video, if people are closing the pop-up and they're going past the video, that's it, we lost them, right? Spintax can't really convince anyone of anything, even if it's grammatically correct. I mean, if we've got a residential property manager, but then some page is talking about a housing residence supervisor on another page, no one's going to learn from that, right? So what we said with the AI content is now we're still doing Moji. We can produce mass optimized web pages, but for the very first time, not spun. Not in all of the history of Moji. We've never done AI content before. Now we're doing AI content on literally every single page, and every page is fascinating to read. I had a lady I proved the point to her the other day. I think I told you in a different video. I proved the point when I was talking to her, and I said, the AI content is completely human quality now. And I explained why. There's the engines, the same engines that power the AI bots for big companies like Tesla and Microsoft are actually, and Apple are actually available to us. And we can plug into them. And we can use our own rules and our own APIs and stuff if we know how. Now that's billions of dollars of technology. GPT-2 had like a billion moving parts in it to cause the bots to speak and act like humans. And then out came GPT-3, where somebody figured out 150 times as many layers of things that needed to be dealt with. You know, timbre, tone, all the other stuff that has to do with style and voice and probability of outcome. And so now GPT-3, the third iteration, uses like 150 billion moving parts to analyze and predict what should be said. And it is hot. It writes better than a human writes. And so all of our content is modeled after this. So if you're coming in with us, the pages we write are convincing. The verbiage that we produce for any button or any video is convincing. The link titles are convincing. How people interact with the site is convincing. All the pieces that we build are convincing. So now we just need to monitor and make sure that people, that all these parts that we build are in the right order, the right sequence. And when they give people the idea, people are like, yes, I want that. Not its second cousin. And just watching people interact and watching especially the stats and letting the websites deal with them means that the websites will improve themselves for max ROI using the best language you can write on the web pages. And all of it's self-updated and all of it's automated, and all we have to do is just oversee the end result. So any one of you who are like, I just don't even know what I want to do, then you would go to Decrypt My Leads and hit claim this position and pick something up and let us do the job. Okay? Well, if I were you, I would go to OfferVault and go to paper calls and sort it high to low. Find something there that looks good and looks widespread to you, and then go to Decrypt My Leads right over here and claim this position and find something like that. Okay? And sign up for it. Okay? And when you get that going, we will build the project for you and plug it in to start paying you out, right? And we'll be able to monitor it and make that puppy run. And if we have to include some other regional areas into the mix to make it work for you, we will. Because why not? Because we're just going to make that thing work. Now, the amount that we pay out is based on the amount you pay in. So I'll do a second video about that. Because the higher you pay in, the more room you give us, so the more we can pay you back out. But we're at a point where now, I mean, we can guarantee results. We're not legally allowed to in America. I'm not allowed to guarantee you a profit. The only two entities that are allowed to guarantee you a profit in America are the government and banks. They can guarantee you interest payouts. Government's got T-bonds, T-bills. I had somebody ask, how come that's, how come I'm saying that? Is that really true? And the answer is yeah. Even a water washing company we were doing business with had 100% money back guarantee, and the government said, no, you don't. You take that off, you reword it, or we're going to have problems. And here's the reason why. In the old days, you kind of could because it wasn't regulated, but now it's regulated. And the answer is very simple. If you're paying, we have to build something. If we build something, it's built. It costs money. There's no such thing as I can give it back to you too, on top of having spent it. Where would the money be coming from? What other pocket would I be pulling it out of? So the question becomes, what if everyone has the right equally to 100% money back and executes it? It's impossible to pay, right? That's the reason it's not allowed to be offered, okay? But we're at a point where the amount of power that we can create and the fact that nobody knows about AI, that most of the competitors and most of the industries with most of the websites don't understand it. And even if they did, what if everyone writes great AI content? Well, Google's still got a range for the best results. Well, you know who's going to get the best results? The people that don't just rely on it without thinking. Because we can't just make the bot win. We still have to make sure the bot's writing in the right order. We have to make sure to check the user experiences page by page, right? We have to rearrange our sections to maximize ROI, stuff like that. So we get to see what people are understanding, what they're not understanding, what we need to grab, what we need to improve upon, and build that in. Okay? So that's what we can do now, effectively and fast, better than anyone I know. And we don't know anyone that's able to do it. And mass produce multiple websites that can do this in parallel. I mean, we can create more websites for the industry than anyone else. We can create them faster and fill them all out with the right proper version of AI contents. And we can have them each organize themselves for max ROI, and they can meet with each other to see what secrets anyone's learned about that and bring that all back to maximize ROI even further. And then if we want to inject a test, we take one of those, make some tweaks that we think might work, and push it back in. Say it takes off like a rocket and really works. What about all the other websites? It's okay, because they're going to meet. And when they meet next, they're going to learn those new numbers, bring them back, and all of them get to rise. How's that? So this is how we can use manual effort, what you're paying for from us. The higher you spend, the more manual work we can do for you. That's the point. What makes a project somewhat profitable or insanely profitable? The amount of man hours that we're able to put into it, to study, to monitor results and react on them, right? That's what's happening now. So AI content, self-governing websites. So if you go through OfferVault and get a position like this and pump it out, then yeah, it's going to be huge. And the more you can spend, the more you're going to make. Watch what's going to happen, because this is neat. We just hit, like I said, 1 and 2 for the real estate leads being the right people. That's huge. And at the same time, we're creating the most incredible websites out there. Literally nobody I've ever heard of offers websites that do what we do at this level. Okay, get in, get going. Somehow or another, get started. All right?